Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to our next video. This is our third video on Excel application. In our previous video, we have seen how to enter this data and also how to put border. So in this video, I want to look at how to modify a table in an Excel. If we look at it, we have serial number, name, department, state, blood group. In a situation where you want to add local government between state and block group, how are we going to do that? Or you want to insert a row between candidate number 2 and candidate number 3 to add another record. So that's what we want to start with in this tutorial. So to add a column, you just right click on one of the columns. Since we want to add between E and F, then we highlight E. Then we click insert. We have to highlight a column, this column. This column, to highlight it, you just click on the alphabet, on the column name. So that is how to highlight a column. There is a difference between highlighting a column and highlighting it like this. This one, you just highlighted the data within column F. But to highlight a column F, we just click on column F, or we just go ahead and right click. When we click insert, it will insert a blank column before the blood group column. Let me repeat by doing undo. To do undo, I will go to quick access toolbar and click on undo insert cell. So I will go again and right click on column F, which contain blood group. The moment I click insert, it will insert before the blood group, that is between E and F. So we have a new F, while our blood group will be shifted to column G. So we can just go ahead and say local government. For example, in Kano, we can use Dala. Kaduna, we can use Zaria, and this one, let's say Sabong. Or let me use Sabongari for the local government. So we have seen how to add a column. To add a row, also you go to the area where you want to add that particular row. We want to add a row between candidate number 2 and candidate number 3. So we have to highlight the row in which the candidate number 3 is, the one we want to add a blank row on top of it. So we just right click on that column. To right click, you right click on the row name, that is 4, the number 4. You click insert. It will insert a blank column or a blank row on top of this particular row. So you can go ahead and type the new data that you want to insert into that particular row. But since our serialization, we have to come and correct our serialization. For example, nursing. Let me say Jigawa. Do say A plus, for example. Assistance. This is how to add a row and also to add a column in an Excel. So the next thing we are going to see is how do you copy and paste. Copy and paste. To do copy and paste, you have to highlight. Let's highlight this particular data. To copy, we have different methods. Either to go to the menu home tab and click copy. The moment you copy anything in Excel, whether copying or cutting, you will see a dotted line going around your data, the selected data, meaning it has successfully copied your data. So to paste it, you click at the new destination where you want your data to be. You go to the home tab, under clipboard group, you click on the paste icon. This, you have successfully duplicated your data. You have copied it from somewhere else and pasted it into a new location. Not necessarily the entire data. You can copy a cell, go to another area, you paste it, as simple as this. To reverse the action, we undo. So the next item, the next thing we are going to learn is how to do cut and paste. Cut and paste will allow you to migrate your data, to relocate your data from one place to another. So to do cut, we go to click on the scissors. It has highlighted. Can you see the dotted line going around the data? We go to new location, we paste it. It will move it, it will migrate it to a new location. We can cut it again and paste it. We cut it again and come to this area and paste. That is, we want to shift it to another to create blank rows at the top. But this is just how to copy and paste. The next thing is, how do we add a header to our table or to our data, our Excel sheet? To do that, we need extra blank spaces at the top of our table. So we right click, we click 1, 2, let's say we want to add 3 blank rows. So we come to this area and write the arrow, university, for example. Let's say we want to list, this is list it for the level 200 nursing B nursing student. So level 200 B nursing student. We have our header, but this doesn't look good because if we are to print, it's going to be by the left side instead of to be at the center of the tab. So this will bring us to something new, to something how to merge more than one cell. For example, if you look at cell D and E, we have two cells, cell D1 and E1. We can make them into one particular cell. So we highlight both the two cells, we go to the home tab. If we are already there, we go to merge and center. By clicking, it will turn cell D1, E1 into one cell. The new cell will carry the first column's name, that is D1. If we go here, you will see it D1. So it will become D1. If you click again, it will separate them back to their normal cells. So that is what we are going to do to this one. We want to have this particular entire row to occupy the entire session, the entire area, so that it will center it at the center of the table. To do that, it's better we migrate our content from B1 to A1. So I will select cut, go to A1 and paste. I will select this one also, cut, go to A1 and paste. So now we have our data at the beginning of the column. So we highlight from A1 up to the end of our table. So you see A1, because our table stopped at column G. So I will highlight from A1 to G1. Then I will click merge and center. By clicking merge and center, it will centralize my data, the header of our table, to the center of the page. So I will do the same thing to this one. I will highlight it from A2 to G2. I will click merge and center. It will centralize everything. When I go to print preview, even though I need to do a little adjustment here, we'll explain this one later. We go to the print preview. You can see now the header to our table is at the center of the page. So this is how to merge and center each row. But what if I have I don't want to do it one by one. I want to highlight the entire rows and do it at the same time. To do that, so you highlight row 1 and 2 and up to the G2. Then you go there. Instead of clicking merge and center, if you are merging more than a row, so you have to click this arrow and select merge across. Because if you click merge and center, it will delete the second row. Let me undo to bring the data back. So merge and center will delete the content of second row. But when you click on this arrow and select merge across, so it will merge across each row. So you can see merge across each row. This one is a separate row which merge it from A to G. This one also merge A to D. But this one you have to manually centralize your text. So this is how to merge and center your text on top of your, what do you call it, on your table. So the next thing we're going to look at is how do we make it bold? How do we change some of our font properties? To change some of the font properties, you highlight your data, you go to the font area under Home tab, font group, you click bold, it will make it bold. Italic, it will make it italic. If you want to underline, it will underline. If you want to put border, you put a border. But we are going to remove this border to this particular header so that whenever we are printing, we're just going to have it like this way, in this way. So also from our own header, we want to differentiate the font property of the table header table from the from the body of our table. Sorry for that. So we click bold. We even put some property, color property to the header. And if we like, we can use this particular font size property to increase or decrease. If you like, you can use this particular to increase the font, or you can use this one to either reduce and increase. And also you can change the font type to this font name, selecting agency FB font name. So this is how to change some of the font property by using the font, changing the font name, the theme font, that is the font name, or you increase the size, you reduce the size using this one, or you apply bold, you put an, or what you call it, border. You can also change the fill color. This one is called a fill color, that is a background color, while this one is a fore color. So if you want to change the color of the text, you just use this one, but we will maintain our black color so that it will become more readable than if we are to use the red color. So in this tutorial, we have seen things like how to add a row, a blank row, how to add a blank column, and also how to do copy and paste. We're able to also successfully learn how to cut and paste, that is by migrating the data into another location. Similarly, we have seen how to change the font name, make it bold, italic, underline, or even change the fill color, and also how to do what is called merge and center, or merge across, in order to merge multiple cells to allow it occupy a very header of our table, so that our table will be more presentable like this. I'd like to stop here. In our next tutorial, we'll look at how to use the alignment area of the Excel, followed by the number group. Also, how to change some of the properties of our data. Then in the subsequent videos, we'll look at the rest of the properties within Home ribbon, so that to familiarize ourselves with how to make use of Excel very well. Thank you for watching.